this edition we are going to be having. Welcome, 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 wherever you are joining us from. It's been an amazing time since we began this Foretaste edition. We had an amazing time on Tuesday, and we had two amazing speakers join us on Tuesday. Um, we had Ezekiel Sholesi, and then we had Bosse Olushola Obasa. It was super. I'm telling you, you need to go to my YouTube channel at Dr. Olumide Emmanuel on YouTube so that you can have an opportunity to watch that amazing session. Tonight, woo, get your paper, get your notebook, get your tablet ready, and get ready to type away as we offload some powerful insight in today's session. Well, if you don't know much about what we do, my name is Olumide Emmanuel. I'm the CEO of the Common Sense Group and Madiba Global, and also the global president of the Billionaires Conclave. The Billionaires Conclave is my mentorship platform, is a network of high net worth individuals, organizations, and families all over the world. We have members on 6 continents and about 27 countries now. And every year we host two major events. The first one is our Conclave Summit, which always comes up in the month of March, the first weekend of March every year. And then the second one is the Business Sustainability Summit that comes up in the last weekend of September every year. Wow. It's been amazing from 2021. This year, we are having the fourth edition of the Business Sustainability Summit. And this summit is aimed at equipping businessmen, businesswomen, families, and organizations with tools, information, and different kinds of opportunities that will help them to build for sustainability. I believe in transgenerational wealth. I believe in legacy. I believe in the need to build transgenerational organizations. And if that is going to become a reality, then we need to equip people in order to make that a reality. I don't want us to keep building businesses that die off once the owners of the business are no more. So, this is an opportunity for you to get the foretaste. The date for the event is September, and that is Friday. So Friday the 26th and Saturday. So Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of September at the Grand Ballroom of the Marriott Hotel, Lagos, Nigeria, at the Keja GRA. Wow, you're going to have an amazing time. Our meetings over the years have been phenomenal. No one comes to our meeting and remain the same. We are grateful because every time people come, they always tell us you surpass our expectation, and this is an opportunity to do that again. Now, the uniqueness of this year's edition is threefold. Number one, for the first time, it is now 2 days fully residential. It used to be 1 day fully residential, but it's now 2 days fully residential. And we have loads of speakers that are put together from within my network to join us. Number two, every meeting we've had over the years, a lot of people have kept on telling us, please, can we bring our staff? Can you do something for our staff? Because we come in here, we learn so much, but when we go back, most of the people that we implemented did not hear what we heard. So can you help our staff? So this year, we're bringing in a lot of people so that we can help equip your staff. So there is an opportunity for your staff and your workforce to join us for this year and be a part of this year's summit. Number three, sense and sensibility. Yes, so sense and sensibility is an exclusive women only session that we have added to this event for the Saturday night. Now, everyone that is married, you need to do everything you can to bring in your spouse this year and let them come and enjoy this exclusive women only session. Ooh, manicure, pedicure, ooh, spa treatments, medical session, women etiquette and season session, women and economic empowerment session. Loads of stuff that will be happening. So our speakers for this year is myself. I'm going to be speaking. My wife will be speaking. Apostle Folonsho Alakija will be speaking, sharing with us on navigating disruptive times with integrity. And then Bosse Olushola Obasa will be speaking on corporate culture for sustainability. Abiola Salami will be speaking on emotional intelligence masterclass. He's going to be joining me very soon. I'm going to bring them in right now. And then we have Dr. Adebayo Adekunle will be speaking to us on you and your health. Then Izu Uwoma will be joining me. He's going to be talking about building systems and structures for sustainability. He's also going to be joining me tonight. And then Ezekiel Sholes will be talking about scaling for sustainability. Go to the YouTube channel and hear the amazing stuff that he has in store for us. And then Olayemi Somi Olamide is going to be speaking to us on women issues. And then we have Gabriel Ogundele. Gabriel Ogundele will be speaking to us on AI masterclass. AI and your business. What are the AI tools that are available to help you build for sustainability? This year's edition is loaded with just 4.5 million naira. You heard me right. With just 4.5 million naira, you can be a part of the entire sessions. And we have a 50% discount offer now open till the end of this month. So if you have the desire to be a part of this, then plug into the early bird discount and do 50%, which is 2,250,000. Now you can lock down your slot with a deposit of just 1 million, and then you spread the balance between now and September. If you want to come with your spouse, we've added a little juice to it. Since you're going to be staying together in one room, your spouse will pay 50% of whatever you pay. So if you are paying 2,250,000, your spouse will pay 1,125,000. So that means you and your spouse will be about 3.4 million naira. That is enough to enjoy all that we have for you. If you are bringing in your staff, well, we have an offer for your staff. Instead of 750, they do 50% at 375,000. But theirs is non-residential. They are not going to be resident. But if you want them to stay in an hotel, we have hotels, cheaper hotels in the area that are also very fantastic that they can take advantage of. But we now have table for 5, table for 10. So if you are bringing 5 of your staff, your COO, your general manager, head of HR, head of accounts, you're bringing your top management, then table for 5 is 1.5 million. So that brings it to 300,000. Per 10 is 3 million. You cannot afford to miss this opportunity. So let me bring in our speaker to join us. Um, okay. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Abiola is here. Hey. Emotional, I can't hear you. Emotional intelligence masterclass.
The incredible mentor, sir. See, I'm using two hands to salute you. Two hands to salute you, sir.
I use
Not
one.
just one, not just one, but both hands to salute you, sir. Good
How are
evening,
you doing?
sir.
How
I've been listening, you know, to everything you've been talking about the Business Sustainability Summit, and it will be super, super, super incredible. Super incredible. The lineup of speakers, the ambience. I mean, anybody watching this right now, you can't afford to miss the golden opportunity. Hmm.
Yes, so Izu, I see that you are still on the road. Where did you go to? Waka Waka making this money.
Izu is in his G Wagon,
Yeah, it's
2025.
really embarrassing. Thank you so much, Sat, for having us. I don't know if you guys can hear.
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm traffic, but it is well. I'm here, sir. I'll be home in 10 minutes. I'll be fine.
Okay, no problem. So you are both welcome. We just want
Thank
to
you,
do
sir.
this because every time I host an event, I try to do a foretaste so that because some people know about us, they know about the event, but some people don't know about what we do. And most of the time, when you finish an event, you start hearing, "Oh, I didn't know. My friend told me." I said,
Ah,
"Okay, let us do what we can do to ensure that nobody will say they don't know now."
makes sense.
So let's talk about sustainability. So I'll start with you, Abiola. You've been around, you've traveled around, you've done a lot of things. If you look at businesses in our climate, what will you say with reference to their setup?
Mm,
What have you identified as some of the gaps and some of the deficiencies
mm,
that are there, that is this kind of business, this one, the way they are doing this thing, they can't go far, or the way
mm,
this man is, so what are the things you have identified with reference to
mm.
building sustainable businesses in our climate?
Fantastic. Great question. And thank you for the opportunity to be here with you today. And of course, the opportunity to be on your platform in September, where we'll be engaging all the high net worth individuals across the globe about the Business Sustainability Summit. So, the question: what are the things I've observed? The first thing that I've observed is when we have a powerful business person who has made some profits and assumes that what helped them to win yesterday is what will continue to make them win today.
Mm,
Somebody
wow.
said that some people fail not because they aimed and they missed, but because they aimed and they hit. So you've aimed over the past 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. You've made consistent profitability year on year. Now thinking that it is that old trick that will make you win today or make you win tomorrow. And then what you now start to
Mm,
have is that because the game has changed and the entrepreneur is not emotionally intelligent enough to even look in the mirror and gain self-awareness to understand their strengths and their areas of improvement, just thinking that because my strength has worked for me over the past 10, 20, 15 years, but my weakness could be working against me. But without emotional intelligence paying attention to that, the person will just take that arrogance of success and want to march into the future, which is part of why we hardly have businesses that are 100 years old or 50 years old in Nigeria.
mm,
What am I even saying? Even 30 years old or 20 years old. Not because they were not making money when they started, they were making money. The game changed, but the business leader, the CEO, the person that started the business, continues to run the business with old tricks because they did not put a mirror in front of themselves to see what are my strengths? Are these strengths still relevant in the economy of today? What are my
mm,
weaknesses that I was able to cover up before that did not really come up to the fore that is maybe affecting today? Which is why you
mm,
have one of the biggest impediments to business growth is the business leader himself or herself. But sir, it is difficult to tell the business leader that they are the problem in the business because because the person will say to you that you, how many business have you run in your life? In fact, when did they give birth to you? See, I made my first million before your father and your mother met each other. So what are you
mm,
saying to me today, 2025? I mean, but I'm used to that, and what I say is, I'll just say, well, sir, it's not a problem. You can continue with what you are doing. If you think there's need in future, we're open. You can always engage us. And sir, 9 out of 10 times they
mm.
come back to say, we agree that we got it wrong. But unfortunately, things have gone worse than they
Was
were before our initial conversation. So that's one of the biggest things I've seen, which is why emotional intelligence is critical for every leader, for every entrepreneur.
wow, wow. What brought you here will not take you there.
Ever.
Wow, wow. It's one thing to obtain, and it's another thing to be able to maintain and grow and
Absolutely.
sustain. Wow, that's
Yes.
amazing. Izu, what have you noticed? You that you are a forensic chemist for business.
Hmm, interesting. Can you guys hear me pretty well?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yes, we
Okay, all right. So once again, to all the audience, my apologies. Nigeria happened. So first thing first, I think that people do not take some things very importantly. Three things. One, people do not take cognizance of the clock, right? There's no sense of urgency. We assume that because we're in our 30s or 40s and maybe we're billionaires or millionaires in dollars, we'll have that energy to run it for the next 20, 30 years. That's assuming that all things are even equal. Where I'm coming from now, I'm coming from Alaba. The brand used to be probably the top three biggest Igbo brands in Nigeria. in its category,
Mm.
and of course, sadly, something happened and they passed on, and it was an accident, and of course, the wife too was in that, right?
Mm.
And nobody prays for an event like that. But when that happens, that
Mm.
can destabilize even the most energetic person, right?
Mm.
So the first thing is not assuming that you can leave at any time, because that sense of urgency that can leave at any time will help you put structures and systems in place. We always
Yeah.
assume you're going to be healthy. We always assume you're
Mm.
going to be smart. That's the first
Mm.
assumption. Two is that we do not think of succession planning beyond just even structure and writing wills. If I ask anyone here that if you're not in the business for the next 6 months, do you have anybody to run your business for 6 months? Is there anybody that is succeeding you? And I was still telling them story today where I was that the late Atayo Aderinoku, the State GT Bank. What if he didn't carry Shego Agbaje under his
Mm.
wings? Shego Agbaje probably took GT Bank 10 times where Tayo and Fola could have ever taken it to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it happens not just locally. So that's the second assumption. Third assumption is not thinking like a retail store. Every business should be seen like a retail brand. Retail brand means I'm going to open multiple branches. Strangely, you find out that Pentecostals are able to have two, three generations. Some Pentecostals have had chain pastors twice, GOs twice. A good example is within Christian churches, probably going to be planning for their third general overseer. Am I right? But the secret of that was because they thought like they were retail brands. I like to think of Redeem like a retail store, right? With over 10,000 outlets. I don't know if that sort of makes sense, right? So there's a need for duplicity. It's only when you can duplicate yourself, right? Can you start thinking succession planning, right? So I think that's are the three biggest problems that they have. One, we think we're going to have the energy. Two is that we don't have anybody in our circle that we are grooming as mentees to take over our business. If you're a Christian, you can see like Jesus had 12 disciples, right? And when he left, they carried on that conversation and they took it. I was reading a book by someone called Hart, 100. The book is called 100. He tried to profile the 100 greatest people that have ever lived on this earth, 100 in any category. Guys, guess what? Paul came before Jesus. Jesus was number two. Paul was number one greatest of all time. So, of
Mm.
course, anybody will argue if a Christian, but he said something important. He said, if you're reading this and you're arguing that how did Paul come after Jesus, how Paul is in the greatness, he says, because of Jesus, there's Christianity. But if you're reading this today as a Christian, it's because of Paul. Let me say it again. He said, because of Jesus, you're a Christian, right? He said, because of Jesus, there's Christianity, but because of Paul, you are a Christian. Do you understand it? Because Paul carried it further, wrote 50% of the New Testament, right? Built structures and systems, expanded the territory. I don't know if anybody gets my point. People
Mm.
hire people who are not as smart as them and expect them to do twice the results. So I think if you have these three assumptions, you're on your way, right? One, assume you're being a retail shop that's going to be all over the place, like Christianity was planted all over the place, right? The biggest brand in Nigeria right now, as we speak, apart from banks, is actually Chicken Republic with 250 outlets. 250 outlets is the biggest that a Nigerian company in Nigeria can produce. Hope you know that if you go to Walmart, they have over 20,000 outlets.
Mm.
McDonald's, over 30,000 outlets. Starbucks, over 40,000 outlets. Nigeria has less than 500 as the biggest brand. So people are not thinking multiple branches, right? I think if people do that, it puts us in a great place to start talking about sustainability. Of course, the other one will be other people's money. We don't know when to go public. IPO, a lot of companies don't know what IPO means. They want to run one man business and pass it on to their children. There's nothing wrong with
Mm.
passing on your business to your children. It's family owned, does not mean that it must be family run,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
You can pass on the business, the equity, the ownership, but let professionals run the business. Pass it
Yeah.
on to the next people. At some point, go public. You are a founder does not mean you must be the CEO. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
founders make terrible CEOs. Founders make terrible CEOs. Top 10 brands in Nigeria, find out what? 8 out of the 10 biggest brand right now, they are not founder CEO. Dangote is not founder CEO, right? GT is not founder CEO. Access is not founder CEO, right? I don't know if what I'm saying connects to us. You're a founder
Yeah.
does not mean that you cannot get a professional. You might be the problem why your business is not being sustainable. I rest my case.
Wow. Rest. You see, last year our focus was on leadership, just speaking to the leaders, because we have heard it over and over
Yeah.
again that everything rises and falls on leadership. And we all know about the law of the lead, that you are the tip of the iceberg, you are the top lead. So the organization cannot rise above you, because wherever your vision stops, wherever your passion stops, that will be the limitation for the organization. And
Mm.
this year, we're looking forward to equipping not just the leader, not just the head of the organization, but also the entire workforce. Because if you don't train them, you cannot blame them.
No.
And the quality of people you have will go a long way to determine the quality of result that you get. Many times, a lot of people are not willing. I was on a TV program yesterday to promote the conference, and one of the hosts on the program was telling me, "What if we train all these people? What if we finish training them and they go?"
Mhm.
The cost of not training them the cost of not training them is more terrible than
Yeah.
training them they go, because when you train them and they go, you have increased the quality of the workforce in Nigeria. It's part of your CSR to ensure that quality people are in the workforce, because if everybody thinks like you, that means the next person you are going to employ will be an untrained person from another organization that was thinking like you. And I believe very strongly that these
Yeah.
opportunities are. So let's have a little bit of a forte. So, Abiola, you're going to be talking to us about emotional intelligence, both for the
Yeah.
leader, the workforce, so that the team can be able to work together. So, give us, just don't share everything, just a little second, that one or two things that we should be expecting from your session.
Well, thank you very much, sir. It's for us to know, every one of us, business people, professionals, male or female, old or young, every one of us to know that when dealing with people, we're not dealing with creatures of logic.
Mm.
With people, one plus one is never equal to two. I mean, with the same person you interacted with a few minutes ago, saying exactly the same thing to the same person, um, at the same place, but now on a different day, you will likely get a different response from the person. Because logic is one plus one is equal to two. And by the way, it doesn't matter how logical the person says they are. It doesn't matter the background of the person, whether the person is an accountant, where mathematics is, one plus one is equal to two, or the person is an aeronautic engineer that has even studied not just ordinary mathematics, but further advanced mathematics. With human beings, we're not dealing with creatures of logic. Rather, we're dealing with creatures of emotions, creatures bristling with pride and prejudice. And understanding these things will help us to navigate the terrain in engaging and dealing with people. And the number one person you deal with as a professional, as a business person, is yourself. And so, having the capacity to understand and manage your emotions so that you can put your best foot forward, so that in your decision making process, biases, prejudices, and your feelings don't get in the way. Now, emotional intelligence is not saying that we will not recognize feelings and we will not put feelings in our thought process, but it is saying that the feeling will not be the determining factor for the decisions that we make, so that we'll put our best foot forward. One of the things I'll be sharing on that day is a concept I call mumu button. That every one of us we have mumu buttons. But the danger is, as a business person, as a leader, when you don't understand your mumu button, you are an endangered species, because people
Mm.
will be pressing the mumu button at the expense of your balance sheet, at the expense of
Mm.
your P&L, at the expense of the vision of your organization, but they are pressing your mumu button for their own sake. So you have a staff that understands your mumu button and they will press it. When they press it, it escapes them from taking responsibility for a job, and then when you allow them, it may even disintegrate your team, because people will assume that you are now playing favorites, whereas is you're not playing favorites. You're not just conscious that that is what is going on. And there's a lot of that, going on around. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about how to understand your own emotions and manage yourself effectively. How to also understand other people as well. You may be leading a team of 10 people, of 20 people. They are not all the same. Even if they are all ladies, they are not all the same. Even if they are all men, they are not all the same. Even if they are all from the same tribe, you said that, okay, because you are a Yoruba man, the only people you want to employ to your business, so Yoruba people, they are not all the same. Even it gets more interesting, even if they are all Christians, they are not all the same. They can be spirit-filled, tongue talking, demon chasing, all of those things, but they are not still all the same. We are principally emotional beings, and the more we understand our emotions, the better we position ourselves, as leaders. And so those are the conversations we'll be having. There are 12 skills in emotional intelligence. I won't be saying any one of them on this call. If you want to hear it, come in September.
Wow, get so come and get the Mumu bottle
Come and
revelation.
get. Yes, there are 12 of them. And see, if you don't have them, you're gone. You may be making money. The money can't be sustainable, right? You need to master the 12 of them and make sure that not only you, but everybody on your team, they master the 12 of them. And it helps in your day-to-day interaction with your customers, with your investors, with regulators, with your team members. The greatest business people are not the ones that have the best strategies. They are the ones that can implement strategies with people. Implement
Mm,
strategies
wow.
with people. And that is what emotional intelligence drop in the palms of your hand. So I look forward to seeing you in September as we enjoy the magic of emotional intelligence together.
Yes, so the magic of emotional intelligence. Ah, wow, that's amazing. Now, one of the things that a lot of organizations do that affects them is not training their workforce. Many
Hmm,
times, a lot of organizations, when they want to begin to cut costs, they go and cut
hmm,
training budget. They say, no, don't worry, that will just, they cut training budgets. And I tell people, you don't cut training budget because the quality of your workforce will determine the quality of the output in that organization. So if you are listening to us right now, you are a CEO, you are a C-suite executive, you lead or head an organization, then do everything you can to ensure that your entire team, your entire workforce is brought on board. That's why we have made opportunities available for you to be able to get them on board. So I think Izu is settled down back home now. So Izu, you are going to be talking to us about building systems and structures for sustainability because a lot of organizations, just like we are now, when we were all born, we were born with system and structures. We have the skeletal structure, respiratory system, digestive system. All the systems were there from day one. And most of the time, a lot
hmm,
of people think that, oh, when I grow up, I will now put system in
hmm,
place. My business is still very small. When we become big, we'll busy. But you see, you don't grow to build systems and structure. You build system and structures in order to grow. So, can you give us an insight into what we should be expecting from your own session?
All right. So, systems and structure sound like a very bogus word, but really what it is one, you have to first of all think of your business like a pyramid with three levels. Lowest level is called the operational level. That's the revenue that supplies output. For example, if a restaurant, your operations is the kitchen that cooks the food. A fashion designer, your operations is the guys that produce the clothes, right? For a pastor, operations is everything that gets a service to go on fine, right? Three levels. One is operations. Second level is management, the middle. So structural issues start to come from when there is no management or either ineffective or inefficient management. Then the third level is the corporates. That's where you have C-suites and boards. So the first thing is you have to ask yourself a checklist. Do you even have these three levels? A lot of people, the MD is the management. If they say management has fired you, know that it's MD that fired you, right? If salary is not paid, you know it's the MD. If your staff wake up in the morning and their mother has swallowed shovel, he's calling you by 8 o'clock to tell you that he won't be at work by the same 8 o'clock. There's no structure, right? If vendors are owing you, if vendors have not paid you, they would call you. There is no structure, right? So that means you don't have management. Then the worst is even you don't even have board. Corporate level is board. How many businesses have a board that they're accountable to, whether executive, non-executive, or even advisory board, right? Samia, you have I've had the opportunity to share board seats with you, and I can tell the wisdom you bring in. The truth about it is you can do trial and error for 10 years, and someone that has experience in 10 minutes to solve that problem, right? The easiest way to divide your efforts and multiply your results is having people who have gone ahead of you, mentorship. So the first thing is look at your business from 3 levels and ask yourself, do I have that corporate level, or do I have that management level, or do I have operational level? A structured and a systemized business must have the 3 levels. That's one. 2, do you have a GM that is solid? I tell people, if you don't have a GM, then you're not a CEO, you are the GM, right? If you don't have a GM, you will be working in the business, and your work is not to work in the business. Your work is to work on the business. But if you don't have a GM, you're the one working in the business, right? Then thirdly is, what departments do you even have? There are certain departments you must have in your organization to be structured and to be systemized, right? Depending on how big the company is. For a big company, you're not going to have departments, you're going to have units under the department. In other words, do you have an organogram? So I talk about skeletons for structure. Yes. The same way skeletons give you shape, your organogram is like the skeleton for your organization. It gives you shape. If I see an organogram, I can tell. If I see just a business organogram on their wall, I can tell whether they are sales focused, whether they're operations focused, whether they are growth focused, right? If a company is moving to growth focus, you see a wider business development unit, PR, marketing, sales, right? I think that's another thing. Then thirdly is, do you have ground rules? What you can do and what you can't do in the organization. I'm not talking about employee handbook here because people don't read it anyway, right? It's too bulky. Just simple ground rules, right? Simple ground rules, right? Shop floor rules, productivity rules, management rules. For example, my own small company, a meeting did not hold, right? If there is no minute of meeting and there's no agenda to that meeting, it's a rule. So right? I mean, somebody told me today, I said something, we're going to Alaba, because I don't know if you know how Alaba is a madhouse in terms of how crazy that place is. Alaba is, Computer Village, you think Computer Village is not organized, go to Alaba, you see 10 times more. Meanwhile, that whole place does over $1 billion effortless in a week, right? There are clients who are doing 30 billion in a quarter. 30 billion. I mean, I don't know how a lot of people, FRS does not know that they exist. They don't even know that they exist. But one of the things I realized just hanging around a lot of these people is that simple rules they don't have. So I was doing that today and I noticed my colleagues were not properly dressed, and because it's a lab, they know they should not wear suit and tie. But I said, you didn't come your jackets. The guy said, oh sir, I know, I've already issued all of them query. They said they've gotten the query. Before I even noticed it, because I was going to meet them around there, I just realized they already have sanctions. So if they were to be fired, they will say that somebody fired them. They'll know that the system fired them, because we know the rules that if you don't do it, you'll be fired, right? It's very simple. So do you have productivity rules, management rules, right? Shop floor rules. Like, for example, in our own small organization, we have performance bonuses because we're a projectized business. We run business with clients. The client says a client pays us 100 million. You get 1% of that 100 million minus your salary. So the client pays 100 million. Whoever is that project gets 1 million, right? At minus salary, provided that he doesn't have 5 queries for that time. So already, if you have 5 queries, you can't even come to account to say you want to collect bonus, because you know the rule. So they will do whatever it takes to not get 5 queries. So I'm not the one chasing them. It's their salary, it's their bonus that's chasing them. Human beings are very, well, all of us, whether we like it or not, nobody's loyal to anybody. We are loyal to the needs that have to do with people, right? So their loyalty, I want their loyalty to be to their bonus, right? So you don't do the right thing, you don't get bonus, right? And so that's the power of rules, Then also, I think that fundamentally, KPIs, JDs, SOPs, you might think they're documents. They're not documents, right? When last did you do appraisal in your company? When last did you do appraisal in your company? What is the appraisal system? When last were people promoted in your company? Right? When last were people promoted in your company? This very simple thing like cadre structure, right? What makes a one-man business is these things. You are working there for 5 years. You are looking at the company, you know that no matter how much effort you put, you will never be the CEO. Because you can see that small boy that they're bringing from school in primary 6 is the one that they're training to be CEO. Right? Nnemeka and Sons, Chukudi and Sons. Right? Right. And what he does for the psychology people that are there, they can't grow. So I think structure and systems is understanding the role of the 3 levels, understanding the different levels and what they do. As a CEO, you sit on the corporate level. That means you don't do operations. Every time you do operations, you're sabotaging yourself. Right? I was watching a video of Vodi, right? And I saw how many people are, everybody talks of Vodi as a tailor. I bet you Vodi might not have been on top of a sewing machine maybe in the last 5 years. And that's why he can scale. Some of us think hard work is how you scale. See, you can be too hardworking to succeed in this country. Hard work is good though, but too many people are too hardworking to be successful, right? So I think that it's important to know your corporate level and know your work as a CEO. Your work as a CEO is not to deliver outputs. Delivering output is operations. Your work, there are 3 levels. Operations produce outputs. Management produces order. And corporate produces direction, strategy, and networking. So the only work you really have as a CEO is 3 things. High-level strategy, insights, concepts. If you're a Christian, as the Holy Spirit drops it in your idea, you write it down, you turn it into a mind map or a strategy, and your management executes. So you have 3 roles. 1, strategy. Second one, networking. If anybody is a real CEO here, you realize that 90% of the time, there are certain projects your marketer can never bring in. It's you that will get the job. I got a call today, 2 days ago, Credit Direct. Big project. But I know that my colleague would never have been able to get that project. And that's the long one with it because networking, especially Nigeria is very cultural. That there are places where you send people to tell them to wait at reception. So if you get there, you see the CEO immediately. So concentrate on that, networking. I've seen Dangote 3 times this year. 3 times. I was telling somebody I saw Dangote 3 times. You know what I've seen 3 times I've seen Dangote this year? All of them is at funerals. True story. All of them is at funerals. You would think that the guy is an undertaker. But that's where he gets his project, like he's a connector. And there's nothing like I'm an introvert. You cannot be more introvert than Dangote. Anybody that knows Dangote knows that he's an introvert. He's not a loud person. But child naming ceremony, he's there. A governor child, great-grandchild gave birth, he will show up. Right? Somebody's great-grand-uncle, he will show up. Because networking is his work. You have to open doors so that your business development and marketing guys can go and close the deals. But if you're always in your office saying, get the plumber, yeah, why is the light not on? Hey, issue this guy 3-4 query. Night will come, you have not grown the business. You have not worked on your business. You just worked in the business. You're not different from the driver, the cleaner. You're just you're not even a manager. You're a glorified operations manager, right? So if you know your role, strategy, networking, right, to a large extent, it helps you get more value. And then lastly, there are certain systems you must have. Primary aim systems, distribution systems, strategic objective systems. Strategic objective is your key to success. You must know your key to success. No more than 5, right? For me, I told myself, for me to grow Xavier to 10 times, right? They are key to success. First, I must build my brand, personal brand, right? So I don't know if you know, I'm sure Olumide Emmanuel is more popular than Common Sense Group.
Oh, yeah.
So do whatever it takes to protect that brand. Look good, right? Brand protection for other people might be different, but you must identify what your strategic objective is and then build a system around it. Because my brand is important, right? I will build, no matter how it is, every month. I would always be either in Arise News for over 5 years. I've been writing on Business Day. It's not because it's not money. It's part of my strategic objective, which is building my brand. Second one is no matter what, we must at least 10x every quarter. That means that objective is, the first one is brand objective. Second one is finance objective. Third objective is I must ensure that I structure every part of my business. The only part of my business, and Salami and Sai, you know, we're all in the same industry. The only part you cannot systemize is speaking engagements because they want you to show up there. That is fine. So then we increase the tickets. If you can pay 10 million, then come and speak. Any other thing, I'll send my guys. Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, FCMB credit are paying us 3 times more because they said if we want you on the class. I said I'm not in class all the time. If you want to put me on the class and to see me, you have to pay premium fee for that. I will shop by myself. I told them I trade almost all the banks. I don't shop there. Right? So you must have those systems. Primary aim, if you create a vision board, what is the system for getting that vision board? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. When I was writing my book, I had a mentor. He was a former bank MD, very high level guy in this country. He told me something. He said, you want to write a book, Izo, I'm a millionaire in dollars, but because you don't know to write a book, we're going to reach an agreement that every week you write a chapter. If you don't write a chapter, you give me $100. This is somebody I know does not need $100. He said, because you're my mentee, I will follow up on you. Second week, I missed. He sent me account number. Imagine when an Odogu send you account number to pay $100. They don't burn you and make you no pay them. Right? I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But that is a system. It's an accountability system. Right? So, because when we say system structure, it looks like it's a bogus word. It's the frameworks that make you ensure you can't get it wrong. Somebody asks, and I'll end with this, what is the difference between an amateur and a high flyer? Somebody says amateur might get it right, but a high flyer will not get it wrong. I don't know if it makes sense. Amateurs practice till they get it right. Systems help you to not get it wrong. Every year you have over 10 million flights in the world, and maybe just less than 10 plane crashes. That system. I don't know if I understand. For a plane, the chance of a plane crashing is 1 in 10 million. Odds, mathematically. I have 3 master's degree. I'm doing my PhD. My first degree is mathematics. I think in percentages and probabilities and equations. One of the things that has the lowest probability is plane crash. That's why if a plane crashes, the world pauses. See, before, just Lagos to Ore, you cannot do it, right, and not see one accident. Think about it. Meanwhile, planes that are 32,000 feet above sea level, they go every time. It's system, right? I remember years ago before I got married, I used to have a very good friend, very good friend. She was a pilot. She was 19 years old. She was flying aero contractors. I called her one day. I said, you were flying, what were you doing before you became a pilot? She was flying helicopters. She was working in Bristol helicopters. So she was a pilot with helicopters, then moved to flying 737, Boeing 737. I said, how old are you? She said, she's 19. I said, are you a graduate? She said, let me tell you the truth. 70 to 80% of pilots in the world are not graduates. I said, so how do they fly something as complex as that? He said, it's a system, the systems. He said, they're like systems on top of systems on top of systems. That even if you slip off, there is a co-pilot, you see, accountability system. If you and your co-pilot slip off, it triggers autopilot. Sir, you now understand, like, if a plane has a chance of malfunctioning, most of the time, the plane will not take off. The system in the plane will not take off. You know, when you get into an elevator that says eight people maximum, and let me say the 9th and the 10th people enters, what will happen? The door will not close. Has everyone noticed it? The door will not close. That means that they have a system. In Japanese, call it pokayoka. Pokayoka means error proof. They have an error proof system. Who has tried to send a message on Google Gmail of recent, and you write, please find attached, and you click on send and don't attach, what happens? It doesn't send. Does anyone notice it? It doesn't send. It prompts you to say, please check whether there's an attachment. That's system. When you're driving your car and you don't put it on park and you try to start it, what happens? It doesn't start. If you're not on neutral, it's a system, because they know that a child can enter. I have a 6-year-old. I know how curious they can be. You drop a car key, he wants to try it. You put him at the back, before you come back, he has moved to the front, trying to move the car. So they realize that if the child leg cannot touch the brake, you should not start. Have you noticed that your leg has to be on brake for your car to start? Well, depending, if you drive a Volvo, I don't know about Volvo and Honda, but right, but you guys get my point, right? So
Yeah.
systems are what you create to make sure that things can't go wrong, right? Even though
Wow.
you built a multi-billion-dollar business, if you're not there, is there a system to make sure that if your brother want to come and take over your business, it cannot happen?
Mm.
Does that make sense? I rest my
Yeah.
case.
Wow. Just hearing this, if you are listening to us on any of the platform, can you see what you will be experiencing when you are in the room? Can you imagine what the amazing speakers will be putting together in this 2 days event? Don't miss it for anything. The meeting is called the Business Sustainability Summit 2025. This is the fourth edition. We started in 2021 as a way of trying to ensure we help people within my community, and then we open it up to other people to come and join us. So the date is Friday, the 26th, and Saturday, the 27th of September 2025. The venue is the Grand Ballroom of the Marriott Hotel in GRA Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm going to be speaking. My wife will be speaking. Follow Alakija will be speaking on navigating challenging times and disruptive times with integrity. We're going to be having Boss Olushola Obasa talking about corporate culture. We have said it over and over again. We have also heard it that culture we eat strategy for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, what kind of culture do you have in your organization? And then Abiola Salami will be there talking about the magic of emotional intelligence. We have Dr. Adebaya Dekule, you and your health. If you don't rest, you'll be late to rest. You are the most important factor in the equation of that your journey. And then Izu will be there talking to us about building system and structures for sustainability. Ezekiel Sholesi will be talking about scaling for sustainability. How do you scale your business then? Olayemi Somi Olamide will be speaking to us about women issue because we have a women only session on Saturday evening. And then Gabriel Ogundele will be talking to us about AI masterclass, AI and your business. What are the AI tools that you need to help you build for sustainability? The venue, like I said, is the Marriott Hotel in Ikeja, and it's 4.5 million for the total package. You can call Marriott by yourself. One night alone is 750. You sleep, you wake up, 750 is gone. That's somebody else's income. You sleep the next day, you wake up, another 750 is gone. That's somebody else's annual income. But this is not a meeting for everyone. It's a meeting for serious-minded, high net worth individuals, C-suite executive, because it's all about the billionaires conclave. Whether you are a billionaire or not, come into that atmosphere. And like I've said over and over again, there are three works you need that will help you in life. You need hard work, you need smart work, and you need network. So you need to be in the right room with the right kind of people. So with 4.5 million, you enjoy everything that we have to offer. But one of the reasons why we are doing this is because we have a 50% discount for early bird. And if you're able to plug in right now, we won't need to spend too much money on publicity. We'll just plug you into the meeting. So with 2,250,000. If you register this month, you can be a part of this event. And all you need to do is to lock down your slot with ₦1,000,000, and then you can spread the balance between now and September. Like I said at the beginning, there are three uniqueness to this year's edition. Number one, it is 2 days fully residential as opposed to 1 day that we have done in the last 3 years. Number two, we have now brought in an opportunity for you to bring your workforce. And one of the reasons why we have done that is because a lot of people come to these meetings, they learn so much. But by the time they get to the office, the people that will implement it have not seen the glory that they have seen. So we're helping you train your workforce. We're helping you bring them into a place. You may not be able to bring Abiola Salami or bring Izu or bring Sholesi or bring Bosse as a company. But now you are bringing your people to come and get everything in one weekend. It's an amazing opportunity. So for each of your staff is 750,000 naira, but they also can enjoy the discount, 50% discount to 375 if they register this month. So I will advise that you plug in and register your staff. For them, it is non-residential. They are not going to stay in the hotel. They will go home and come back. But if you want us to help you, we have short let apartments and we have hotel apartment that are 70,000, 80,000. We have short let apartment 150,000, two, 3 bedroom that can take six of them. So let us know. We have a lot of hotels and short lets in our network that we can always help your staff to be in. But for us, the Billionaires Conclave is a niche brand. So we don't do anything less than 5 star. So that's why we have to be at the Marriott. So, but we have what we call the table for five and table for 10. So if you are bringing up to five of your staff, you have a table and it will be 1.5 million naira, which means that each staff is paying 300,000 instead of 750 or 375. So take advantage of the opportunity now. Call the numbers on the screen, send us a chat, send us a text. If you call and you are not getting through, go to any of my social media platforms, send us a DM, and let us know you would like to be a part of this amazing opportunity. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. So bring in your spouse. On Saturday, from 4 p.m. to 8, 9 p.m., we have what we call the Sense and Sensibility session. We decided to put that together so that it can also be a time for people to come with their spouse. So the women will have their session, medical session, etiquette, women and money, spa, massage, and all those stuff, so that you come with your wife. And if you are coming with your wife, we have another special discount for you. Since you are both staying in one room, then if you are paying 2,250,000, your spouse will pay 50%, which will be 1,125,000. So that means together you are paying 3.4 million for husband and wife. And the amount you are willing to invest in yourself reveals the value that you place on yourself. And I've said it over and over and over again many times. If you think knowledge is expensive, try ignorance. The cost of ignorance is huge. I've seen people that have said, hey, it's still expensive, it's still expensive. And then when they are in trouble, by the time we wire them invoice, they will end up paying because they are in trouble. So don't pay now so that you will not pay later, or you pay now so that you can be free from the school fees. But if you don't pay now, you will still pay later with interest. So let's begin to see how we can begin to bring this home. Let's look at the importance of investing in yourself. I know you guys have done all kinds of training, you've gone to different parts, paid all kinds to buy books, attend seminars. How important is personal development and paying for your own personal development? Because somebody's probably listening to us right now and they're like, as what? Can't I go to Google? I can just go to YouTube and see all this. What are they saying? You can go to YouTube. What are they going to teach us? So, Abiola and Izu, let me start with you, Abiola. Talk to somebody that is wondering why they should pay for this kind of event. Help them see reasons why they should do that.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, I may not be the right person to talk to someone that already thinks they can go on Google to go and get the resource. Because that mindset is on a different level. But perhaps we can salvage some. And so I'll talk about my personal experience. I've realized that any investment I make in my personal development gives me 10x return within 3 months.
Mm,
10x return within 3 months, and the return over a longer period of time is even more than that.
mm,
It is true that information is available anywhere. You can get information. But what you are obtaining from the Billionaires Conclave, what we do, what we are bringing to the table, is not just information. Because what you want for next level is to be transformed from where you are now to next level. Information alone doesn't bring that. Now, I will use a word that sounds more religious in our circle, but in business climbs, it is real. What we are bringing to you is an impartation. Now, this is not anointing. I mean, Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is the doyen in that. But the impartation is that there are things you will be hearing beyond what we are saying
mm,
in how it actually relates to your particular situation. When you go on Google, you will get general information. When you come into that room, you will get specific guidance and strategy for yourself. So anytime anybody invites you to buy a book, know that what they are saying to you is they want your future to be brighter. Anytime anybody invites you into a seminar to come and learn something, know that what they are inviting you to do is not just for your future to be brighter, but for you to save cost so that the journey of 10 years can be reduced significantly into a few months. The insights that we share will guide you and 10x your return. So, this is not begging you or trying to win a debate or trying to convince you. It's just to let you know that you may be missing an opportunity of a lifetime that will
Mm.
make your journey, instead of having a journey of 3 months, it may lead to a journey of 10 years. So you don't want that to happen to you, which is why you need to join us at the Billionaires Business Conclave so that you get the insights and you run your business and record the best profit ever.
Wow. Wow. Izu.
So, first things first, everything's a choice, right? So everybody has their choice, but we also live with the consequences of our choices. If you choose to stay with chickens, you will clock. If you choose to stay with eagles, you would fly. It's really your choice, right? Bullets have killed millions of people, but nothing in this world has killed more people than ignorance,
Mm.
right? There was a time when the biggest killer in the whole world, right, was influenza, right? Penicillin. I don't know anybody that would die from measles in 2025 because somebody found the cure for penicillin, right? A cure for the drug what antibiotic called penicillin. A man will be imprisoned in a door that is unlocked. The door is unlocked though, but it's opening inwards. If he keeps pushing, right? And instead of pulling, it's not locked though, but he says pull, but you're pushing. This is really how me I see life. You can be rigmaroling up and down, dodging expense, especially expense that has to do with your knowledge, right? And the cost will be a lot more. If anybody wants to Google, that's fine. I will help you. Google is too small. ChatGPT is better, right? However, there are things ChatGPT cannot teach you. Take it from me. I'm a 3 times founder. 2 years ago, I and my wife started our third business. In that 2 years, we have 9, is a food brand. We have 9 outlets in 2 years. If I did not sit down with people who have done it before, see, my kids, my kids are just coming back now, right? They went for their swimming lessons. Maybe I can say they should go and Google how to swim. Abi? There are things that you cannot learn by Google. How to swim, how to drive, how to run a business right, Google cannot. The people you're reading about their success in that Google did not learn it by Google. For Apple to build a $1 trillion business, right? He was mentored, coached by Hewlett. Hewlett is Hewlett Packard, HP, right? There's a particular friend of mine, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and a few weeks ago, he was dragged around $18,000. Everybody knows that story. It's really strange because while they were dragging him, he was in Harvard, right? I know how much he paid, over $50,000. So, this life wisdom is knowing that not everybody should you respond to on social media. Some people are using free, some people are borrowed while internet. They borrowed Wi-Fi, they tapped somebody's Wi-Fi to come and insult people. While we're chatting, I was now cracking a joke. I said, "Oh, boy, if these guys know how much you're paying in Harvard, do you know?" He just laughed. Not more than 30 minutes later, he sent me somebody's number. I said, "Guys, I met this guy in Harvard. The guy says that he has a tequila brand and he's trying to bring it to Africa. You should talk to this guy." We're in talks. Me, I'm not even gone for Harvard, though. I've not gone to Harvard. This deal that this guy is bringing table will be at least $10 million. If anybody knows Dr. Olumide, I know you're a pastor. There is a big awakening around the particular type of drink, Azu, Casamigo. I don't know if everybody knows these names. Azu, at least, sir, you know Azu, at least, but I heard them talk about it. They are a tequila brand. And I'm sitting down, I'm like, If this guy did not go to Harvard, he would not have gotten somebody to bring a $10 million deal. Some things are taught. Some things are taught. You are not paying 2.5 million to write down stuff. You're paying 2.5 million for access. If you hang around, whether we like it or not, you can say it's aspire to perspire. You are always going to be the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Nothing tells a man's direction than where he spends most of his money. Show me what you spend your money, and I'll tell you where you're going to. So you go for a party, the live band calls your name, you do donation of 2 million, but you think that 500,000 is too expensive. Oh yeah, now no problem. Let's all stay where we are, right? At the end of the day, right? We are all a product of what we spend most of our times and our money with or from, right? It's extremely important. I'm really looking forward to. I myself, I mean, I'm a scholar by any way you want to look. I've been to business school 3 times. It was not free. If Dr. Olumide probably has told you how much he has invested in his own personal development. I heard Miles Monroe say this thing years ago that a 1 hour conversation, I can't remember how many page book it is. If it's 1 hour conversation, I can't remember, it says a 12-page book or something like that. You cannot imagine someone that is going to sit down and be in a 6-hour session, right? So the difference between you now and the next 10 years is the people you meet and the things that you know. If God decides to choose you to make you grow exponentially, he's not going to come down from heaven. He's going to do 3 things. He's going to set you up with 3 things: people, knowledge, and events. And if you think about it, the 3 of them is combined in this billionaire conclave. It's an event with the right people, with the right knowledge. Nothing changes a man's destiny. Where we are today is a product of an event. Where we are today, whether good or bad, is the product of people. There's somebody you meet today that your life will go downhill. There's somebody you meet today that your life will go uphill. Right? I think that a word is enough for the wise. No arrogance, but one thing I've learned in this life is you can either, like, and Dr. Olumide said it, you can either pay now and play later. One option. Or you can play now and pay later. Right? None of us in this room is as smart as all of us in this room. None of us in this room is as smart as all of us in this room. I don't even believe that much in trainings. I believe in strategy sessions. Sitting in the room with people who you can ask questions. Maybe when you're reading the book, you can't ask the book question now. Can you ask the book question? Right? You can't ask the book question. You're in a room, you can pull the guy to the side and say, "Sir, that thing you said on stage, oh, how can it be done better?"
Yeah.
Right? So in my own opinion, if you convert that amount to dollars, right? I know how much I would charge to have a session. Like Dr. Mine said, imagine you paying me, paying Solesi, paying or even Folusha Lakija. If I show you Foluka Lakija's house and I tell you to go there, you will not see the security guy there. The security guy will not come out of his place to see you. Not talk about to enter to see the person, right? So I think that if God decides to set us up, you could have been anywhere in the world today. You think it's by accident that you're here, right? He's done half of the work. Is for you to do the rest of the work. Thank you, and God bless you guys.
Thank you. Amazingly, a few weeks ago, I was on an online. I was speaking at an online training session in Houston, and a guy had spent 10 million naira organizing proposal for the fiance. You know, this generation now, their own level pass our own. Even proposal, they book all to propose. Book all, get keyboardists, do balloon, do it just to propose. Oh, and the girls will say, oh yeah, I'm so surprised. You are surprised. And then the guy, um, to come and do premarital coaching,
Hmm.
he got an invoice of $1,500. He said it's too expensive. He was ready to spend 10 million naira to propose, but he was not willing to spend $1,500 for 8 weeks premarital coaching. And that's the generation we are in right now. They want to pay wedding planner, they don't want to pay wedding trainer and wedding coach. So I believe very strongly that anyone listening to us right now, If you really value yourself, you value your organization, this is an event you cannot afford to miss. And if you are coming for this event is free for the silver members of the Billionaires Conclave. Our members in 26 different countries all over the world. So people are already coming from all over. People are coming from Mozambique, coming from Congo, is it DR or Congo Brazzaville? People are coming from Ghana, Cameroon. People are coming from Qatar, South Africa, Dubai. People are coming from different parts of the world for this meeting. So if you are a member of the Billionaires Conclave, you are a silver member, it's absolutely free. For those that are bronze member, you need to do your top up and join us. But if you are not a member of the Billionaires Conclave, you can also explore becoming a member. These are part of the things we do to help our community. So you need to take advantage of this opportunity and join us. You have all the details on the screen. Call us. Let's see how we can help you. We have payment plan. All you need to do is take advantage of this discount offer, lock down your slots, and then you will be able to make the balance payment as we move on. So call the numbers and don't miss this opportunity. So let's have a final word from you guys so that we can wrap it up. Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be bringing my wife on board, and then Gabriel Ogudele will be here. We're going to be talking about the part three of this Foretaste edition so that you can learn about AI stuff. And my wife will also be talking about the unique sense and sensibility session. So, Abella, let's have your final word.
Well, my final word is you've heard everything we've said, and it will be to your disservice not to register today and be there. Now, it's not even just about you registering or you registering your staff. It's about also looking at your network. Based on all the things you've heard tonight, looking at your network, which other friend of yours, which other relative of yours, which other associate of yours, which other church member of yours, which other neighbor of yours do you think this will be of great value to? So you want to invite them to be part of this. See, if we say we want to build a better nation, we want to build a better continent, it is the access, the information, the strategies we gain. Those are the tools we will use. Don't be juju. Those are the tools we will use to scale. So come one, come all, bring everyone to learn emotional intelligence and how to build a sustainable business, to learn structure and systems, to learn from all the amazing speakers that will be there, and to improve, to deepen your network. Very important. It is said it is your network that determines your net worth, and some high flyers will be there at the business conclave. So don't miss it. Be there. And when you show up, come and shake my hand and let me know that you came because of this session this evening. Cheers.
Thank you. Izu, your final word.
Everyone that's met me knows I say the same thing all the time as my final word. Intentionality. Anyone can fall off a ladder by accident. Nobody climbs a ladder by accident. They're intentional steps. And those steps is what I'll be breaking down. There are seven of them. Strategy, structure. I nicknamed this 7S. Strategy, structure, systems, shared value, staffing, skill, and management style. Seven things that changes a business trajectory from good to great. Nigeria has a lot of good businesses, but not a great business. Great businesses are businesses that have outlived the founders, that have multiple branches, right? And that every stakeholder is happy. Some businesses, everybody's happy apart from the CEO. While everybody's buying, the CEO has stroke from the stress that the business has given him. That's not a good business. BAT is one of the most profitable business in this country, but the customers are not happy when they light a cigarette. They don't have a choice. They're addicted to it, right? So for you to move from good to great, I was brushing my teeth this morning. I looked at the pack of the toothpaste. It's Colgate. Guys, Colgate is 400 years old. The toothpaste is 400 years old. What did they get right? Strategy, right? Structure, systems, shared value, the right staff, the right skill, and the right management style. And I will spend a few hours. And Dr. Limde, let me publicly say thank you for giving us a chance to share our knowledge with other people. I've spent the last 14 years restructuring businesses, at least 400, and I'll be sharing real life case studies. You guys have noticed I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories. I'll tell you stories in case you don't even like the knowledge. Come and hear storybook. Ali goes to school, right? But most importantly, I'll break down those things. Remember, anybody can fall off a ladder by accident, but nobody climbs a ladder by accident. See you at that top of that ladder.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys in the room. It's going to be an amazing session. So let me release you guys to go. God bless you both. Bye for now.
Thank
Well,
you, sir.
everyone, that has been the 40th edition for today. This is part two. We started on Tuesday. Tomorrow, we'll do part three. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be having my wife join me, Chief Adenike Olumide Emmanuel, the Otun Iyalaje of the Ojodu land, Ojodu kingdom. And she's going to be coming on board to join me. And then we're going to be having Gabriel Ogundele also coming to join me. It is an opportunity you cannot afford to miss. 8 p.m. tomorrow night. This Business Sustainability Summit is coming up in September. It's Friday the 26th and Saturday the 27th of September this year, 2025. The 50% discount offer is open right now and it goes on until the end of this month. You can lock down your slot with just ₦1 million. The numbers on the screen are there. Screenshot it. Take advantage of these opportunities. Listen and listen well. Listen and listen well. Listen and listen well. The word POUR is an acronym for passing over opportunities repeatedly. I have had people that could have been in events like this that did not. They ended up paying almost 15, 20 times of the same amount when it became a crisis situation because counseling is free, but consultancy attracts a fee. One of the uniqueness of our meetings is that you're going to be in the room with like-minded people. The network you're going to have, the connections you're going to make, you may end up realizing that this will be the best decision you made this year, 2025. So I look forward to seeing all of you in that event. Then let's do it again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. tomorrow night. I'll be back. God bless you all. Bye for now.